News First Weekend with Sonali Wanikabathuke.
Hello there, very good evening to you. It's great to have you with us here on Channel 1 MTV. We start off with a look at tonight's headlines. UN Secretary General says unless we demand that human rights be respected, it will just be words in a decade-old document. Petition to be presented to the United Nations with 1 million signatures on behalf of Sarath Fonseca. 3 individuals hang themselves in Ippavala. And appeals for calm after disputed Congo election. Today is World Human Rights Day. This year, millions of people decided the time had come to claim their rights. They took to the streets and demanded change. Many found their voice using the internet and instant messaging to inform, inspire and mobilize supporters to seek their basic human needs.
Human rights is
Human rights are the rights you have simply because you're human. It's how you deserve to be treated like a person, like the right to live freely, the right to speak out what's in your mind, and to be treated as an equal. Human rights are universal. But wars like World War I and World War II saw the human population come close to extinction. Keeping this in mind, countries banded together to initiate the principle of universality of human rights emphasized in the Universal Declaration on Human Rights. In his message, the Secretary General of the United Nations, Ban Ki-moon, notes that human rights belong to every one of us without exception. But unless we know them, unless we demand they be respected, and unless we defend our rights and the rights of others to exercise them, they will be just words in a decades-old document.
I have a dream today.
Those who fight today against poverty and torture are not superheroes or giants. They are people, kids, mothers, fathers and free-thinking individuals, because human rights are the responsibility of taking care of each other, respecting each other and protecting those in need.
The campaign to obtain 1 million signatures for the petition that is scheduled to be presented before the United Nations against the violation of human rights of Sarath Fonseca commenced today.
Senior UNP parliamentarians, provincial councillors, political party leaders and civil society activists were present at the event. Today he has become a prisoner because he stood on behalf of the country's democracy, freedom and justice. Sarath Fonseca has to fight for his freedom because he is a leader who is ready to sacrifice his life even in his prison uniform. I would like to remind that this will not stop at the Supreme Court but will go up to the United Nations in New York. That is our Supreme Court. We will file cases against the government. Then who will have to stay in prison? It is the government who will have to stay in prison. We will file the charge sheet.
Speaking in Kandy yesterday, Deputy Minister of Plantations Earl Gunasekara said that rather than obtaining assistance from America to secure the release of former Army Commander Sarath Fonseca, efforts should be made to obtain a presidential pardon for his release.
අනෝම පොන්සකා මැතිනියට ඔය බොරුවට බෝඩ්ලාලි උස්සන් කෑ ගහන
I am telling Anoma Fonseca and the red and black people who scream slogans for lies by carrying placards to meet the president and obtain his pardon. He is a good Buddhist. He is a good leader who has feelings. I firmly believe that if you meet him, he would grant a pardon and secure release even by tomorrow. Anoma Fonseca or her daughter, who are going to meet Barack Obama in America, will not be able to do anything.
A demonstration was held in Jaffna today requesting those who have disappeared to be found.
The group engaged in a demonstration in front of the Jaffna Central bus stand, displaying photographs of their relatives who have disappeared. This was organized by the committee to locate those disappeared in Jaffna in lieu of World Human Rights Day, which falls today. Relatives of those disappeared, representatives of political parties and human rights organizations attended the demonstration.
Deputy Minister of Resettlement Vinayagamurthy Muralidharan says that some international communities or diaspora who level allegations on human rights in Sri Lanka do not know about the ground reality. He expressed this view at a media briefing held in Colombo yesterday.
Because now we proved the world we are maintaining the human rights issues in Sri Lanka very well now. Because last year, less than 4 million tourists came to Sri Lanka last year. That is the good example. We are maintaining the human rights sector very well in Sri Lanka. Some blame on our government, some international community or some diaspora people. They didn't realize, they didn't understand the proper situation in Sri Lanka. Or ground reality, they don't know about the ground reality. You see in the Afghanistan, what happened? The prisoners are there. Iraq prisoners are American, they are keeping some other areas. Like that all the countries are doing. But our country, special thing, within the short period, within the 2 years, all elite hardcore cadres released by the government. This is the excellent things happen in the human rights matter in Sri Lanka.
United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights Navi Pillay says that she is postponing a visit to Sri Lanka until the report of the Lessons Learned and Reconciliation Commission is released. Pillay stated further that the LLRC report is in the hands of President Mahinda Rajapaksa. United Nations High Commissioner on Human Rights Navi Pillay made this statement in response to a question raised by a journalist from the Inner City Press. According to the Inner City Press, Navi Pillay said that she favoured the LLRC report along with the UN Panel of Experts report being the subject of a debate in the Human Rights Council. Meanwhile, Pillay declined to answer if she will seek a second term as the UN High Commissioner on Human Rights, saying she has 6 months left to make a decision. United National Party activists in Gampaha say that they provided their mandate to John Amaratunga in a bid for him to put the party on course to victory rather than joining the government. They point out that John Amaratunga has come forward to safeguard the leadership position of Ranil Wickremesinghe, who has led the party to repeated defeats.
United National Party Pradeshia Sabha members of the Gampaha district charge that John Amaratunga, who is not fulfilling the responsibilities vested in him as the chief opposition whip, is instead convening media briefings at his residence to retain Ranil Wickremesinghe as the party leader. They believe that the final stage that is crucial to making the party victorious through a new leadership has dawned. They also point out that measures taken by the people to hinder this are measures taken to fulfill the needs of the government.
He does not have the moral legitimacy. We know that during the past year and a half to 2 years that the government had a significant opinion about him, that he was going to strengthen the hands of the Mahinda Rajapaksa government and the president himself. He came to this side with one leg on the other side. Therefore, when he points one finger at others, 4 fingers are pointing at him. Although he may not know this, all the UN peers in the Wattala electorate and in Sri Lanka know about it. The people of Jayala are saddened by the media briefing held yesterday. I received many telephone calls regarding it. John Amaratunga is a senior leader today in the United National Party. We have our doubts on whether he is now running errands for the government as soon as Karu Jayasuriya announced his candidacy for the leadership. We as provincial councillors have to struggle to send John Amaratunga to Parliament. We are the ones who paste posters, erect cutouts and flags as provincial councillors. Therefore, it is we who know about the public opinion. Today, the public opinion has been expressed in a decisive manner, calling for the present leadership of the United National Party to leave. We are desperately asking for the United National Party not to be destroyed any further.
අපි තමයි පල්ලෙහා මට්ටමේ ජනතා නියෝජිතෝ ජනතාව
Today the UN peers are suffering with great sadness. We are the ones who are at the grassroots level and who are with the people. Although the seniors may lie, we can't lie to the people because we are constantly with them. Therefore, I am requesting the electorate organisers in the 13 electorates to force the members of the working committee not to come to the villages until the working committee removes the leadership.
බල කරන්න අපේ ජනතාව එක්සත් ජාතික පක්ෂයව එන්න එපා ගමට එන්න දෙන්න එපා කෘත්‍යාධිකාරී මණ්ඩලයේ නායකයව අයින් කරන්න නැත්තම්.
At a media briefing convened yesterday, members of the United National Party commented with evidence on the behaviour of Chief Opposition Whip John Amarathunga.
About 80% of my electorate want me to cross over. This is the Chief Opposition Whip making this statement. He is the one who is saying he is more suitable than Karuja Surya to contest. I think if someone is asking him to leave, it is not the UN peers. If he is being asked to leave, it must be those involved with the Sri Lanka Freedom Party who are waiting to take advantage of him. If the members of the UNP are telling him to join the government, it is a lie. We asked him not to come to Wattala or to the UNP. If he is honourable and wise gentleman, then stay on that side with that honour, but don't come to Wattala.
John
Amarathunga is an unpleasant man. I am asking Ranil Wickramasinghe to please leave. If there is a person who is crossing over to the government, we are asking that person not to come to the Wattala electorate. We will die with the UNP.
We did not vote for John Amarathunga so that he could run errands for the government. We have always remained the same. We will die happily even today after voting for the elephant.
Meanwhile, co-deputy leader of the United National Party, Sajith Premadasa, who attended a Sasunata Aruna program in Sri Soma Loka Vihara in Colombo, also expressed these views about Karuja Surya.
I propose to hand over the duty of uniting the party to Karuja Surya in order to have change. Today, rumours are being spread by groups who wish to remain in the opposition forever for their personal benefits and by the government who wish to rule the country for centuries, keeping the United National Party, which suffers continuous defeats, sling mud and say that Sajith Premadasa and Karuja Surya are trying to bribe and obtain the votes of parliamentarians of the working committee. We will not engage in such heinous attempts to gain power by granting bribes. We are not third-class politicians to grant bribes. I would like to tell you that we are first-class public servants who wish to develop the country. Sajith Premadasa made a financial donation for the development activities of the Sri Soma Loka Vihara and commenced the construction work of a new building at the Vihara.